up absolutely idolizing American muscle cars, the Camaro, the Corvette, Dodge Challenger, and of course this, the Ford Mustang. However, when I first drove it in Lesotho in 2019, I was left a little bit underwhelmed. I am back in Lesotho to drive the Mustang Dark Horse. This is the fastest and most capable 5-litre V8 yet. I'm excited. The Dark Horse distinguishes itself from all the other 5-litre V8s that came before it. It is more menacing, more sinister looking, and definitely more meatier. Up front you have your tri-bar LED lights. You also have your gloss black grille with the trapezoidal air intakes. Those are meant to resemble the nostrils of a horse and do add to the aerodynamics of this car, making it perform better and perform faster. It also gets a split lip, of course, a very wide and big fender. You do have these extra big tires with Brembo brakes, of course, with the blue calipers, which is the theme for this car. The color has to be something that really stands out on this car. It's like a mixture of blue and purple. You know, you have some indigo colors and a peach in the sun that kind of reflects when you look at this car. And for the first time, you have a front-facing badge, which is never been heard of on a Mustang before. That is exclusive to the Dark Horse. The rear looks even sportier, especially with this big wing. I actually quite love this. It's not overly done, and it is easy to, go overboard when making a wing. We have seen it before. Of course, you do get the classically designed Mustang lights, and I like that they haven't changed that recipe over the years. And on the lower part, you have your big exhaust tips, your quad pipes that release the most amazing and thrilling sound. The interior of the Mustang has always been quite rudimentary, simple, boxy, and quite old-fashioned. Yes, it worked then, but I wanted them to move with the times, and officially they have. So in front of me, I have a 12.3 digital cluster that is customizable to whatever options you'd like it to look like. I'm currently sitting on a classic kind of 70s retro look for this. But the nice thing about it is it has such great graphics. It's almost as if you're playing GTA, kind of changing up the screen. Next to it, you have a 13.4 infotainment screen as well. It's quite easy to use. All the apps that you need are here: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You also have a customizable menu with custom mode that takes you to how you'd like your exhaust to sound. So do you want it to be on track mode, sport mode, normal, quiet mode? And you can just play around with a lot of options that they have in here, but the graphics really look amazing. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed, blue stitching, leather-wrapped, of course, multifunctional, and it feels good in your hands. In the middle, you do have your gear. It is an automatic, but they have designed it in such a way that it feels and looks like you are driving stick, which is quite nice. You also have your handbrake. Now, this is interesting because this is actually designed to do a lot of burnouts and tricks and kind of just pushing that back out. So I think whoever buys this car is going to be having a lot of fun in this car. The seats are very comfortable. They can be heated and cooled. You have that stitching that goes all around, as well as the indigo seat belts. And I really think it makes it look quite nice and different, but just keeping that spirit of a sports car. I do appreciate that I've gotten this opportunity to drive the Dark Horse in Lesotho because, this is such a powerful car, and it handles the road amazingly. And that has never been the strength of the Mustang before. But this, in comparison to the GT. They've really just stepped it up a notch. And it just beckons you to keep putting your foot on the accelerator. It's eating that road up quite brilliantly and just handling those corners with precision. You feel safe. You don't feel like it's going to lose its tail. And that's exactly what I wanted the Mustang to do from inception. They should have just started with a Dark Horse and then worked their way up from there. So I'm currently driving the beautiful Lesotho roads. The roads are beautiful and windy, and it really just helps you feel out this car to its full potential. And I say full potential lightly because, I mean, this is a track car. The Dark Horse is powered by a 5-liter V8 Coyote engine, and oh my goodness, it gives you all those 334 kilowatts and 540 Newton meters of torque, which is impeccable. It's a lot. And it just rips through the tar. I have to just mention how those tires are sticking to the road, and I think those Brembo brakes are working quite well. This is my first time actually in a car with Brembo brakes. I've always heard of how magnificent they are, and this is amazing. And it sounds just glorious. I feel like a kid in a candy store, like just the gurgling from that engine noise when it's downshifting. It's just beautiful to drive. I actually wanted to get into the fuel economy of this car. It's on 13.3, averaging right about there, but doesn't really matter. If you're going to be driving this car, do you care what the fuel economy is? You shouldn't. Because if you're going to be worrying about that, you definitely won't be, affording that price tag and the upkeep of this car, essentially. But cars are expensive, and if you're going to get a car that is track ready, that feels, sounds, looks good, that has optimum performance, it almost feels like it could be a collector's item. This car feels that special. I do think it's worth all the money. Take my money, in fact. The Dark Horse is exactly what I dreamed a Mustang must feel and drive and look like. This is a new dawn, it's a new page, and it definitely is the car of my dreams. Damn near perfection.